Good morning. I am in a hotel by myself in Indiana, in a football town on a football Saturday, packed. The place is packed with football people. I could barely find a hotel room. But anyway, I found one. I'm happy. That's good. The reason I'm here is not because of a football game, though. However, I'm sitting here eating my little breakfasty deal here, so pardon me. But I just wanted to share what's going on. I'm at or near the town where my parents are in their retirement community. Guys, it has been absolutely insane, the stuff that has gone on since they moved in June. They moved in June on the 4th. Since then, my dad has been hospitalized twice, had pneumonia. My mom was moved to memory care within 2 weeks of moving into independent living. So now they're living apart. So he's in an apartment area type thing in independent. He's 91. And like I say, he's been hospitalized twice and he had pneumonia, and I didn't think he was going to get out of that, but he did just fine. And mom's over in memory care, and that's just been quite the thing. What a learning process to try to figure all that out and, you know, what to expect and what's going on and stuff. So, yeah, it's been a lot, and I know that I've sort of alluded to the fact that, you know, this is all going on and stuff. But it has been a struggle. They're both, I mean, the changes have been unreal. My dad's now living alone for the first time in his life. He's lonely. It's really, really hard. So anyway, last Monday, this is Saturday, so the past Monday, I was on the phone with my mom when she was trying to tell me something, which was difficult. And I was trying to understand what she was trying to tell me. And while she was talking, she must have been walking around in her room and she fell. All of a sudden, I just heard this, oh, and this kerfuffle. And I was like, Mom? And finally, she got back on the phone and she said she fell. She was laying flat on the floor. She thought she was okay, but I said, don't try to get up yourself. I said, hang up the phone and I will call the nurse's office, the nurse's desk, because she wasn't near her little call thing. I will call for them to come get you. So she said, okay. I said, all right, stay there, hang up. So she did. So I called them and told them that she fell. Well, they helped her back to her chair. She's like a nice chair and TV area, and they helped her there. She was very sore. She had fallen out of bed a few months before and really bruised her whole left side really, really badly. But she was okay, nothing broke. Well, she fell on her left side again, and it was really, really sore. Shoulder, hip, and so forth. But we assumed it was just because it was, you know, still residual soreness, and she transferred from the floor to the chair decently. So she pretty much stayed in her room the rest of the day and just kind of, was reading and that kind of thing, relaxing. But then by the time dinner came around, she was unable to put any weight at all on her left side. So they thought, maybe there is something worse. So they had a mobile unit come and give her an x-ray. And then the next morning, I got the news that the x-ray showed possible fracture. They need more imaging, possibly CAT scan, whatever. So they sent her to a hospital, another town over. So then we were waiting to hear what happened. So she went to the emergency room for the hospital. She did fracture her hip right at the ball area of the hip joint. So the surgeon called saying that she needs a partial hip replacement. And there was an opening at the time in the surgery, which the surgery seems to be kind of packed, and there's a nursing shortage. So, let's just go ahead and get this done if you're okay with that. And so I was like, give me a minute. So I'm calling my sister, I'm calling my dad, I'm calling a really good family friend who is the head of a radiology department. I'm calling all over the place I'm researching, Googling, trying to figure out if this is the only option, this is the best thing, la la la. Anyway, after a little bit of time and settling in and stuff, we came to the conclusion that that's what needed to be done. Talked to Mom about it. She agreed. So yeah, that's of course what we did. So she had surgery on Tuesday. And since then, I was trying to find a way to stay here when she was transferred back to her memory care unit at the retirement community. So that was something, because it's a football weekend. There were very few hotels available and so forth. If I went to the hospital during that whole thing. I would have then had to have been COVID tested every single time I came in and out of it. It was just kind of crazy. So I said, okay, I'll be there when she goes back to the healthcare center of her place. So she's not even going back to the room that she's used to. She'll be at the healthcare center where they can rehabilitate her and get her to be able to walk and stuff better. So it's a whole new room. So then I knew I needed to help her, get things together. They would do it, but I wanted to get her special stuff and the clothes she likes, and you know what I mean, and be there for her. So anyway, I finally found one room, this one, which is really nice, by the way. I'm enjoying it, and I haven't even tasted my blueberry, whatever it is, bread yet, but I will. So stayed here last night. Well, drove here yesterday. Okay, my plan was to be here when they were releasing her, and I'd be in the parking lot. So I didn't enter the hospital, because if I entered the hospital, I would then have to go to a drugstore or something, get COVID tested, and wait for the results to even be allowed in the retirement community. So I didn't want to have to go through all that when mom's needing to be switched. Obviously, they would take her, whatever, but I kind of wanted to be there for her. So I'm driving here. I got up at 6, or I left the house at 6 something in the morning. It's an hour difference. So I was headed out first thing in the morning. I had to get through Chicago-ish traffic, on a Friday morning, which wasn't the best. That put me back a little bit, but I was still making pretty good time. And I pulled over to a rest stop, went to the bathroom a couple hours later. Normally it's a 3-hour drive total from my house to their place, and that we've done it many times. That's it. It's like 3 hours and maybe 3:15, no big deal, right? Well, after I stopped at the rest stop, I was pulling back onto the highway and traffic was completely stopped. Like I couldn't even get off the merge thing to get back on the traffic. It was just a wall of trucks. And so I'm just sitting there like, oh, okay. Eventually, I literally never got over 3 miles an hour, but kind of moved my way into the place. A truck driver let me in, and then I moved over into the faster lane, which was going the smidgiest bit faster than the completely stopped lane. But anyway, long story long, it was 3 hours of sitting there, never going over like 7 miles an hour at a time. So then, as we're heading down the highway, I made friends with the guy in the giant semi-tractor trailer truck or whatever next to me because I was flirting with his dog. There was a dog looking out the window, and I kept waving and stuff, and the dog was woof at me. So the guy rolled down his window, and we chatted, and he said, do you know why this, what happened? I said, no. And he told me that a truck had flipped over on the highway during an accident, and they were trying to get a crane in and everything. So anyway, I slowly kept heading down the highway along with everybody else. Literally, by slowly, I mean 0 to 5 miles an hour, basically, here and there. And then they just finally made us the entire highway had to merge off onto an exit. You could go left or you could go right, but you couldn't get back on the highway. So I chose left, along with, half of the place, or a little bit more, of the entire highway. So then we were on some cornfield road, just tiny little state road with every truck and every car and everything that had been on this, several lane highway. So we were just barely moving through tiny little towns. And it was just like, oh my gosh, I'm glad I went to the bathroom back there, So time's ticking. Finally, I get to my parents 7 hours later. 7 hours. It took me to do a 3-hour trip. It took 7 hours yesterday. So anyway, got there immediately. They'd already gotten my mom back to her place, settled her into her room at the health center. I remembered the nurses. I love them very much. I remember them from when my dad was in the hospital, and then he had to come back to the rehabilitation place before he could go on to his apartment. So they're almost old friends of mine, even though they only started this thing in June. Anyway, got her settled in, and then went over to visit my dad on the entire other side of the complex. And I had brought him some food and things for his apartment, things that he was wanting to grab. So I brought him those and dragged all that in, and sat with him for a while. And then he took me to dinner at the dining hall. He's like, let's go eat dinner. So we went down together and we ate dinner together, which was wonderful. And then I got him back to his apartment, or we went back to his apartment, and I needed to let him rest for a while. And I said, I'm just going to go check on mom again. By this time it was like 6:30 in the evening. Went to her, stayed with her for a while, chatted and talked with her about everything, and talked to the nurses, and we were discussing with physical therapy and all that kind of stuff. And then I just left them last night to come here, which is a half an hour away from where they are. It was the only hotel I could find, literally. So anyway, drove all the way back here again and spent the night, and now I'm having breakfast and on the road to go see them again. So I have to finish this up and drive the half hour back to their place. I'll probably stop at mom's first and then go to dad's and see what they need, and if dad needs to go anywhere or do anything or whatever. And then I think I'm going to I don't have another hotel room for tonight, so I can if I decide I need to, but I think I'm going to try to get back home because my husband's been away and he's going to be back home for like 1 day before he travels again. So I'd like to be there to see him. So it's been absolutely insane, basically. And I definitely have not been keeping up with my videos and stuff nearly as much as usual. I get that, and I know that, and I know you guys are so, so sweet. But I kind of wanted to give you a slight little rundown on what's been going on and what I've been doing and all that stuff that's been really taking over a lot of my brain and my heart and my mind and my mood, and you know what I mean. So it's been a lot, and that's really only scratching the surface of some of it. So just know that I love you. Know that here I am in the middle of somewhere, Indiana, and gonna eat my blueberry bread, drink my coffee, hit the road, go take care of my parents some more, and then hopefully I'll be back on the road home tonight before Saturday Chicago rush hour. I've got to try to get through that. Yeah, hopefully it won't be a big deal, or I'll get stopped with all the football traffic or something like that. But I'm hoping to get home in 3 hours like normal instead of the 7 that it took me yesterday. So thanks, guys. Just wanted to share that with you. I'll be back on doing some normal stuff as much as possible. But yeah, life's anything but normal right now for me. But you gotta try to grab the fun stuff when you can. In the meantime, you do what you've got to do. So I love you guys. Take care. Thanks. Bye.